it was so demanding because you're descending and you've never seen it, and it just keeps coming at you. And when you drop into one of these, I guess you could call it a stair section, you literally are committed and you drop in and it gets harder and harder, and there's a corner and it gets harder, and then there's exposure to a huge fall, and you know, some places it's wet, it's slippery, and it's pretty intense. It seems like all day it's just coming at you, coming at you, coming at you. And rarely are you just swooping down the trail. So it's pretty physically and mentally demanding because you're constantly just like, you know, it's there, and you come around a turn and there's a pack of donkeys with a bunch of stuff strapped to them, and you have to get out of their way because they're not getting out of your way.
Going for quite some ways, really technical trail. Starting to lose light. We still have an hour and a half, they told us, so we better step it up.
The final leg of this route will take them from Tatipani south to Beni. The further they descended, the greener and busier the trail became. Nevertheless, technical riding skills were still pretty much in demand.
Wow. That was hairball. Wade and I just rode this shot. Oh my goodness, it was like super greasy, steep stair steps. Never looked at it before. Flashed it. One mistake and you would have went 100 feet down into the river. Rapids, boulders. It's one of the more hairball things I've ever done on a bike. Woo! Finished.
The Annapurna downhill is completed. Now it's time to reorganize and head to Langtang. Back to KTM.
Mission accomplished. Number one.
The Hans ratio was awesome. The people had never seen bike riding like this before, I don't think. So we were in the square, and the group just started to amass, and they're like, what's going on, what's going on? Next thing you know, it was 10 people deep, and Hans was doing his trials on this temple.
Going for our heli trip to Langtang. We've been waiting all morning for the helicopter. It got stuck somewhere near the Everest region because of bad winds. But now he's here and we're ready to go and get onto our trail before we run out of daylight. It's a bit sketchy, this helicopter. It looks like there's all kinds of oil on the side of it, and the pilot standing right here next to the gasoline truck with a cigarette in his hand. It's this old Russian helicopter, and it's, I don't know, I wish we were there already.
Lesser known than the Annapurna region, the Langtang trekking area nevertheless held a lot of promise. They'd never quite gained the altitude they'd experienced in the preceding days, but that was by no means seen as a bad thing. The heli flight would take them north for the start of 3 days of downhilling from Tianjin.
Biggest helicopter I've ever been in, some World War II throwback, and it took us up there, and it was a bit scary actually. we just saw mountains on both sides of us going by and hoping that, you know, we missed the ridges. And we came into land and everything actually was quite smooth. But then you get out of the chopper again, you look at it and you're like, can't believe I just drove that thing. It was like, you know, it was one of those beat down cars that drip oil and low tire, you know, it's got a wobbly rim. So that was the kind of helicopter it was, but if it's that old and it's flown that much, it's probably pretty reliable.
Alright, I'm ready for a downhill.
It's been pretty cool to mountain bike and travel through this culture and see these mountain people, how hard it is for them to live, but how happy they are. And the riding has been super challenging and demanding, and the camaraderie between our crew has been really cool, getting to know new people. And I think leaving this place, it gives me a little fresh perspective on my life and how maybe I take a lot of things for granted, and I hope that it stays with me, the impact of seeing these people and how they live, you know. I feel privileged to have been able to experience all of this.
Which just goes to prove that even full-time freeride pros with years of travel behind them can be surprised by new experience and new encounters. Well, that's it from Wade Simmons, Richie Schley and Hans Ray.